Hi, welcome to training on Live at EDU. Specifically today we're going to look at the Microsoft Outlook web app, which is the mail client that you can access through the web. It's very similar to Outlook that you're probably used to. It looks very much like Outlook 2010. So let's take a look at some of the features here. As you're probably used to, you have three columns, and in your left side column you get your inbox, your drafts, sent items, deleted, etc. You also have a contact list. Your contact list is not everybody in your address book per se, but it is people who could be in your address book, and it is people who you're able to chat with. As you note, there's a dot by each one of these people. Currently, it is not highlighted green, which tells me they are offline, and you can also see that if you hover over them. If they were online, you could do an instant message chat with them, which we will talk about in another training. If you do notice over here in the top right, my button is green, which tells me that I am online. So if somebody else would go online, they could see me if they're in my contact list, and we could chat back and forth. Much like all versions of Outlook, down in the bottom pane, you can move to the calendar, your contacts, and your task, which you can barely see that at the bottom there, and then back to mail. In your middle column here, here's how you can do a new message. You can delete messages, move them, filter, change how you're viewing them. Right now we're viewing by date, the newest on top. You can change that much as you can in any version of Outlook. You can simply click through to change which message you're looking at. A little slow returning there. And just jumping back and forth. You can also, right here, you can search for the message either by the sender or keyword or kind of however you want to do that. This is your reply button. This is your reply to all, your forward button. Over here we have your address book. You can search for a certain person. And also options, which we'll take a look at here in just 1 second. We want to look here in the third pane first, though, and I want to show you a new feature, which is the message history in Outlook web app. As you can see, here's a message from Justin, and you can see there's two more messages below that. And that's interesting because usually we would not have that, but the reason we have that there is it's showing me all the messages that are tied to this. Since we've been replying back and forth, I can expand these messages and see our whole conversation. In older versions of Outlook or Outlook web app, you would have had to went back and found each message. You couldn't display them all in the same pane. So this is very handy if you need to look back and see, what your conversation was with a person. You can simply expand those or close those, depending on what you need to see. Okay, let's look at the options. So we will click on options. It's going to open a new screen for us here. And the first screen has some very useful tools for us. This is the account information. If someone adds us as a contact, what have you, this is what they're going to see. So if you need to change that information, you can do that here. Also, if you have other accounts, such as let's say an MCHSI account from home, and you want to connect it into your Live EDU account, you can do that here. Vacation messages. If you want to do a vacation message, you can simply click here, and you'll be able to send automatic replies if someone emails you while you're on vacation. You can choose how or when it will start, when it will end, and then the message they're going to receive. There's a few other things that we really won't get into, but inbox rules are basically if a certain person emails you or a certain subject comes in, you can send it to a folder, etc. Let's pop back into the accounts here, and no, we don't want to save that. You can use some inbox rules to forward things. You can also, if you want to set up your phone, if you have a smartphone, you can do that using this direct push. If you want to set up your Outlook on your desktop or your laptop, you can do that through here. You're probably currently doing that now. Also, if we need to change our password, which I'm sure most of you have done, you can click here to change your password. Other things here is organizing emails, what we looked at when we looked at the vacation message, groups. The nice thing about this Outlook web app is that it's what we call an exchange back-end, hosted exchange. So we can set up groups. For instance, I have a group here called the Live Google XavierSaints.org for our testing purposes. So I've built that group and I've added people to it. So instead of having to send out to everybody, you can simply send out to live/Google or -Google, at XavierSaints.org, and it'll go to everybody in the group. You can create your own groups if you need to for a class, for a group of people you're working with, and then it'll be easy to email and keep track of those people. You can also leave groups if you don't want to be in them, or you can ask to join a group that's already set up. Let's look at a few settings here. Mail setting tab here, and this is basically just what your mail message is going to look like. For instance, if you want to do a signature, how many messages you want to show up in the pane. Do you want the BCC to show up? What font are you going to use? So all that type of stuff. How your spelling check's set up. And there's some other things here. Calendar we'll get to later when we talk about calendar. Phone settings will be something you'll use if you do wish to push this to your phone. And then lastly, we have blocker allow. And what that does is you can, basically it's your junk setting. So if you want to block messages from a person or somebody is currently getting blocked and you want them to be able to come through, you can change those settings there. So if we want to pop back into our mail, we can simply go up here to My Mail, and you'll see we're back in the mail window. So, and this is kind of where we started. So again, you have your messages, and it's very similar to what you're probably used to in Outlook. We will do some more training videos on the calendar and also on chat, and then some of the other features that are available in Live@edu, and those will be available for you on the web.